Hi there, namaste, and welcome back to another Spiritualistik Pick a Card reading. Today we are taking a look at messages about your career path, so please take a deep breath, draw the energy up your spine to create a clear and open channel. As you exhale, allow yourself to come into clear knowing which group or groups has your message in it for you today. We have group number 1 on the left with Lotus feet, group number 2 in the center with revisiting priorities, and group number 3 on the right with time for a change. As always, my loves, the timestamps to your readings are listed below in the description box. You'll also be able to find there my meditation retreat. If you're interested in guided meditations from me, they are 21 days of guided meditation. It is a journey to hold your hand and level you up spiritually, physically, and emotionally. It is also accessible to you for the rest of your life once you purchase it, so you always have access to these meditations from here on out. With that said, if you're interested in working with me, I do have one-on-ones 50% off right now. It's just an opportunity for me to give back a little bit, so I thought that I would do so. So with that being said, I love you and I'm grateful for you. I look forward to working with you personally. I look forward to joining you on my meditation retreat, and I look forward to seeing you over at your reading. Namaste. Hi there, Group 1. Namaste and welcome to your reading. Today we are taking a look at messages to you about your career path, and you selected the first group with the Lotus feet card. Now, the first thing I'm getting here is group number 1, you have a lot to offer. And this might be about some sort of, I'm hearing product offering, but in general, you have a lot to offer. You are very wise. You might be a master of all things spiritual. You might be a master of all things health, but you have a lot to offer. This is definitely the group that is laying down some sort of legacy that they're leaving behind on this earth. So it's important that you believe in yourself the way that the universe believes in you, in entrusting you with this wisdom, with these gifts and abilities, with these skills. Now, for your career path specifically, as you've gathered already, for most of you, you are in some way going to be holding people's hands. I'm also getting you're going to be doing a lot more of what it is that you are doing right now, believe it or not. But you are going to notice over time that it gets a little easier. You get a little more efficient at it. It takes a little less time, a little less energy. You sharpen your tools a little bit. And I'm also getting that you're going to get more and more comfortable over time. There might be a little bit of a learning curve in order to get into this groove, but nonetheless, it's going to occur for you. You will also get to take your time and feel like you have more time. You're going to get to enjoy directing your energy in this way. You'll also feel that this is something that gives back to you, that you feel energetically charged by this in a positive way. It's something you enjoy more and more over time, and you're also going to find that the return of investment gets grander over time as well. There is definitely this energy of learning the balance of giving and receiving energetically, and noticing that as you get more efficient at this career path of yours, the more you actually get in return. So the more maybe hours that you spend, say that let's use a writer as an example, although it doesn't have to be. You can spend 8 hours writing, and maybe in those 8 hours you write 100 pages. There will also be other days where you can write 100 pages in 2 hours. It depends on the vibe. So that efficiency, that following the flow, you will find that when you spend less time more efficiently, or more creatively, or more energetically aligned, the grander your return of investment is. So this will be resource management, this will be time management, this will be energy management. That will have a bit of a learning curve for you, but you will enjoy the process, and it will just continue to get better and better over time. It's seeming like your career path is going to have a lot to do with you building connections with other people, and also you helping people in some way to understand what it is that is meant for them. So what I'm getting with your career path is what's meant for you is helping other people understand what's meant for them, whether it's educating them about a particular career path of their own, whether it is allowing them to connect with their Akashic records, their fate, their destiny, whether it is helping other people manifest, or whether it's helping other people to understand their financial future. Whatever this is here for you, you are forging personal connections that are helping other people change their life by understanding the trajectory that they're on and how to utilize where they are and where they intend to go to the best of their ability in order to ameliorate better their life. Okay? So we're going to get into the tarot in a moment here. There's a lot of communication here. I'm getting the book Super Communicators, which I haven't personally read, but it's showing up. So some of you might have read that or might find it interesting to read that. We're going to see where in your personal natal chart, you're going to want to look for more messages about your career path here. So you're going to want to look at Scorpio. You're going to want to look at your first house, and you're going to want to look at Saturn. So this lets me know that you're going to have significant career turns, significant career events, and some sort of Saturnian time frames. So you might notice that there's a significant one between the ages of 27 and 29. Perhaps another one between the ages of 57 to 60-ish. You are going to find that whenever there's a significant transit of Saturn, maybe in your personal chart or in general in the transits, that is going to be when you have the most, let's say, action in changes in your career. This is also going to be something that shows kind of behind the curtains of your own life. Maybe it's your own personal beliefs. Maybe it's your own health practice, your own spiritual practice, your own financial practice. This is going to be something that peers back behind the curtain and kind of breaks the glass ceiling and looks at your personal structure in life. So it's going to be what works for you. This is something that you have learned, something that you experienced, something that you have walked through in a way where this can be maybe made replicable to other people, in a way where you are sharing what you've learned and that information helps other people. It can also be in a way where you embody, like it's giving lifestyle content, or it's giving you learned how to change your financial situation, so you help other people change their financial situation. It can be you've walked through this karma and learned these lessons, so now you help other people who are in that phase learning the same exact thing that you've walked through. So there's definitely this energy of your self-exploration, your individuality, your journey, something about peering back behind the curtain here and bringing this to light for your career. Now we're going to get some more messages here about your career path here. Now there is going to be an element of discipline, and also, again, I'm getting time rich, time resource, time freedom, okay? That is really going to be emphasized here with that Saturn. So it's going to be something that encourages you to maybe want to get organized, but with the Scorpio here, it might be hard to stay organized, okay? There's a little bit of this understanding that the more that you grow and change and transform, your career path is going to grow, change, and transform alongside you. It's giving rebrand if you own a business. It's giving changing your career path. Maybe you're an artist, but you might not be an artist of one medium. You might be an artist of many mediums. Your career path is you being on the outside of some sort of common trope as well, and kind of sharing that there are a lot of different shapes that can take. For example, if your career path is that you have mastered being a teacher, so you get to teach a lot of different subjects. Your career path can be that you've mastered spirituality, so you teach or you exude or you embody several different flavors of spirituality. It can be that you have mastered art, so you end up several different mediums of art, several different genres of music, something like this. You've mastered music, not just rap music. You have mastered finances, not just investing. You have mastered spirituality, not just tarot, not just Reiki. So it's something like this about your career path. And so you're going to notice that it takes several different forms as you change your focus. It's less about, am I over here, now I'm over there, then I'm over here, and it's a little bit more about, there's this whole multidimensionality to me, and I'm expressing myself. You're expressing your authentic self, and that's going to sometimes be singing bowls, and sometimes it's going to be Reiki, and sometimes it's going to be tarot, sometimes it's going to be meditations, sometimes it's going to be music. Sometimes in music, it's going to be healing music. Sometimes it'll be country, sometimes it'll be rap, sometimes it'll be blues, sometimes it'll be pop. So it's multidimensional. It's giving, this is the art of music, this is the art of teaching, this is the art of spirituality, because you have mastered the outside of something. So it's beautiful here. So let's pull the tarot, what you need to know about your career path at this point in time. I'm getting to keep moving forward, okay? There seem to be a lot of things around you right now where you kind of want a little bit more information. You want a little bit more answers. Okay, so what is the context with which I start this business? What is the context with which I start this music? What is the context with which I start this album? Okay, something like this. It seems as though there are a lot of almosts, and you want to make sure that you have all the information before you, let's say, commit to the bit, right? But your intuition, it's kind of telling you, be yourself, do what feels right, and whatever it is that you're doing, it's not going to be what you're doing forever. And so there's a bit of this question of, well, if it's not what I'm doing forever, then why am I doing it? I want what I'm doing forever. And so this is why you're receiving yes and no. Take a look at the communities around you, okay? So you might find that you are really, really close with the community of acoustic cover bands, right? And you play that music, you are good at that music, but you're a music person. So the next thing, you find yourself connecting with that, but you don't fully resonate with that community. You do resonate with that. You resonate with them fully, but they don't resonate with you fully because you also have a version of you that likes classical music. You also have a version of you that likes metal. You also have a version of you that likes country. And so your ability to connect in this way will be something where you are like a puzzle piece that can fit in all of the different puzzles, but all of the different puzzles don't have pieces that can fit across every puzzle, otherwise it wouldn't make a picture. So in your career path, you are being called now to know that it's going to be a lot about embodying your individuality and what is authentic to you that day, that moment, that year, that month, because ultimately everywhere that you are, you will feel like an outlier and they will feel like you are that missing piece. You are exactly what the doctor ordered. You are exactly the medicine, exactly the cure to whatever's going on. You are the creme de la creme, and for you, you're going to feel, yes, but there are also so many other versions of me that I want to express. And so, as you walk along your journey, your career path will change shape as you decide to walk through your life. It's a little bit less for you about go to work, and then outside of work you have your life. It's a little bit more about you expressing yourself is, in essence, your career path in some way. And so you're looking to ground something, but what you want to ground, it's something that is maybe creative or it's ethereal. It's not necessarily tactile in a sense, but you want to find something that is so you can ground it, right? You have all of this wisdom, where to start. You have all of this musical inspiration, but what one genre do you make your album? So we have this kind of predicament here, and I'm getting to tell you just start with what's authentic to you right now, because it will change. The way that you transform a lot over time is also going to be something that's appreciated by the community. You're going to find that you also find around you an orbit of people that resonate with your energy in their own ways, because they too are interested in music, not just people who like country or rap. I'm also getting that expect a lot of parrots around you, okay? Expect a lot of people who you are the only one that resonates with them, and they don't really understand how to resonate with them, with their own self at this point in time. So you're going to find that you start something and a lot of people try to copy you. Okay, you're going to find that you have a lot of people who become really, really, really obsessed with you, and then they want to be your best friend, or they want to date you, or they want to become you, or they want to replace you, or they want to put you down, or they want, like, just a lot of this energy, because you kind of are giving this innovative kind of energy. You're giving this, like, because you are not confined to a particular subset of whatever this is that you are in, whatever topic, not niche, but topic that you're in, because you're a master of all of the things under that umbrella. Because you have spiritually mastered whatever this is, you physically and emotionally and mentally, all of the realms, you have mastered whatever this is, time and time again, you are the most qualified, no matter which room you step in this genre, in this topic, okay? So you're going to find other people who are like, well, I can be bigger than country music too. And they're going to start trying to copy you. You're going to find, oh, well, I don't need my tarot cards either. And they're going to start listening to your messages and then parroting your messages, okay? So there are energies like this just to be aware of, but it's kind of giving this energy where you can't really copy the original. You can try, but your messages come from you. They're in your vernacular. They come from your experience, and that's not really something that can be replicable, okay? So with that being the case, there is a sense of community around you, but you might also feel like you are welcome in a lot of communities. You have a lot of different communities that love and appreciate you, but that you're also the outlier. Because you understand that, well, let's just say you could have taught their teachers. For a lot of you, you did teach their teachers, okay? It's kind of giving that you've spiritually mastered whatever this is that you're stepping into with your career path. And let's say that you used to train university professors of finance. But now the job that you're choosing to get into, your career path, say that you start your own business, now you are choosing to work with people in the financial industry, right? Now, they are alongside people who learned from the people that you taught. They learned from those professors that you trained. So it's kind of like this different category here. And so there are some that are specialists in one topic, specialists in another topic. There are people who have a lot of beautiful things to offer, but there's this energy of you I'm being shown like a wise old turtle kind of archetype. So there's this, which is kind of the energy that you're giving. It's giving grandmaster. I'm hearing the word Shifu. I think that's like the master in Kung Fu, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong. But it's kind of giving this energy here. You're giving the wise sage, no matter which room you step into. And so you have this community around you, but you're also almost always in this, especially with Saturn and the Three of Cups, in this energy of this maybe parental or paternal or not patriarchal necessarily, but it's kind of giving this like paternal or like sage, wise energy surrounded by a bunch of little kids. It's like the dynamic that comes through no matter what room that you are in, which can be tiring a little bit for everybody. So this is what to look forward to with your career here. Let's get messages about your path specifically. Okay, so after this era, you're going to find that you kind of choose to just focus on the material stuff. Right, and after this, there is a little bit of this question of, okay, so now which way do I turn? Because you kind of get, I don't want to say wrapped up in it a little bit, but there's definitely this energy of, in your career, you want to build, right? You don't want to build alone. You want to maybe have your family involved in your career. Maybe you want to go into business with your friends. Maybe you want to become friends with your coworkers. Maybe you want to collaborate with people. But there's just this lack of energies that are qualified around you. And so you can play around if you want to. You can help out a lot of people, but there aren't a lot of people who are going to be able to help you. In fact, there will be none. This is where whatever it is that you are actually a master of is going to come into play. This is where, as the spiritual teacher, you continue to direct those spiritual gifts on yourself, not just on other people, because this will be what helps you. As an astrologer, you're going to be continuing to direct this astrology towards yourself, not just towards other people. As a financial advisor, you're going to be continually using this financial advice on yourself, not just on other people, because you are just simply in a different league. So, in your career, there's going to be also an emphasis on fun, like this stability and this fun, finding what works for you the most. But you might find that for some reason, you feel like you're not necessarily allowed to have fun, because when you try to have fun with other people around, and it seems that they don't necessarily fit your definition of fun. You might notice that you'd want to maybe, you always have to be the mature one in your career. So it might be that you take on more than what is your responsibility. It might be that you kind of are always in the trainer position, never in the trainee position. It might be that you're always the one that has to pick up the slack, right? So with this career here for you, you're going to find that the more that you express yourself authentically, the better it works out for you. The more that you are kind of, for lack of a better term, a lone wolf in your career undertakings, the better it's going to work out for you. This isn't to say that you can't work with other people. It's not to say you can't make friends at work. It's not to say you can't collaborate with people or you can't, have a life outside of it. It is just to stay with your personal things. You are the best off alone. You might hire a few people, and it might not necessarily work out the way that you'd hoped. You might be able to share your vision with other people, but they won't necessarily get it. It's kind of giving the energy of, if you want something done right, you have to do it yourself. But this isn't just being a perfectionist. This is being a spiritual master of whatever this is, okay? Because at the end of the day, you could have taught whoever taught the people that you would end up hiring. You could have taught whoever taught the people that you would collaborate with. And for this reason, there's a little bit of a healing curve and a learning curve for you navigating this, and also for them navigating this. I'm getting that you have experienced this dynamic before in other lifetimes. However, for you, there's this inner child aspect to it that's going to come through as well, almost like, but I don't want to be the last one picked on the playground. But I want to be friends with everybody. But I want to enjoy. But I want to get to play too. I want to be easy and have ABC 1, 2, 3 and have a million results from that too. Whereas for you, it's like you always have the Saturnian energy of it. Now, you work really, really well with Saturn and you work really, really well with Pluto, okay? The things that you are great at are changing your personal situation. You are great at transformation. Change might not be the most comfortable thing in the world, but you are a master of making it happen. You are a master of handling it. You are a master of identifying it when it's on its way, when it needs to happen, making it happen, so on and so forth. You're also a master of showing up and getting done what needs to get done. Now, that is something that is entirely underrated in this life with humans, and this is something that you are a gifted person at. However, when it comes to yourself, there's a little bit of this energy where, yeah, but you just want to have a little bit of fun. Yeah, but you just want to go on vacation. Yeah, but you just want to make friends. Yeah, but you just don't want it to be that deep all of the time, right? It's a lot of pressure consistently all of the time. It's a lot to be ruled by Pluto. It's a lot to be ruled by Saturn. It's a lot to be ruled by Mars, right? Because we do have one, which is the Aries energy too. So I'm not overlooking that. It's just not as strong as the other ones, okay? So there's this energy of giving yourself that love, giving yourself that space, and you'll find more and more over time with your specific career. Remember how right in the beginning, we talked about how over time you'll become more efficient. You'll become more free in your resources, time free, energy free, financially free. You're going to have more and more resources the more that you get efficient. And so there's a learning curve here. And you'll find that you're very, very busy, very, very disciplined, trying to figure out how to get organized, all of this. And you might put yourself, maybe not, you're not putting yourself last, but your self-care, your rest, your luxury, your playtime, it might come like not at the number one priority, right? It's going to be the thing that takes up your most time and your energy. Well, over time, that is going to shrink. The same efficacy, but with a smaller amount of energetic output, with a smaller amount of time required, because you get better over time, you get more efficient over time. And this opens up more time, more resources, more energy, more finances for you to get to focus on things like maybe going out to the park, going for a hike, sleeping in a couple extra hours, for letting you take a 2-hour break in the middle of the day, for allowing you to have a few days where you just want to energetically recuperate, for having some time to go on vacation, or the ability to go get a massage, or even work on a passion project that feels a little less, let's say, survival rooted for you. Okay, so over time, you're going to notice that, well, let's just say in the beginning, you're going to hit the ground running. It's going to probably consume your life a little bit. You're going to like it, but you might get a little tired. So this is where I tell you preemptively, do what you can to take care of yourself to avoid potential burnout. And moving forward over time, you will get continually more and more and more efficient. You're going to know which neighborhoods to go, which houses to sell, which phrases sell the most. You'll be able to tell which people you'll be able to sell to. You won't. Spirit showing me a door-to-door salesman. That's why. Okay. So over time, you'll get better at it. You'll become better at selling. You'll become better at noticing what is worth your time and what is not. And you won't need to spend so much time in your car driving door to door, right? And so at the end of the day, you are saving yourself time. You are able to more efficiently follow your career, and you have more time, more energy for play for yourself. So this is actually really beautiful. It's kind of giving this energy where you step into your career and it's kind of all consuming at first. You like it, but it's a lot, okay? And so you try to find this resonance with other people, right? And other people, they don't need to be as consumed with it as you are, and also they don't need to work as hard, but they also don't know what they're doing quite as much. It seems as though you are the jack of all trades, you're the one to go to with all the answers, but you don't have that person in your life. So every room that you step into, you're a role model in some way, shape, or form. With this, you kind of maybe get lost a little bit because you want to find where you fit. You're looking for your specific puzzle, but you learn you're a master key. You're not a key to a particular room. So you're going into all the rooms trying to figure it out, and they're all going, whoa, that's cool. How'd you get in here? That's really nice to meet you. Not understanding that you're the master key. Okay? So with this, you find some sort of, okay, well, this is what it's like to be a master key, and this is what we create with it. And also, the thing that I needed to figure out, now I've consolidated it, right? Now I'm good at it. Now I'm efficient at it, right? You also understand here that everything's not easy, everything's not hard. The things that are hard for other people are quite easy for you, and the things that are perhaps difficult for you are quite easy for other people. And it's just the way that things are sometimes, right? Sometimes it's difficult for things for me to do personally that I'm sure it's quite easy for you to do, and also vice versa, right? We all have our own special gifts and skills and abilities, and all things are universally, divinely orchestrated. So with that, there's a little bit more of an acceptance over time. You're also going to find that the right people surround you, but they're also going to be in that same kind of vigilance that you are in, that you learn to grow into at the same time. So that is going to be how you identify your people that stick around for the long run. And they're actually going to give you a safe space to get to kind of grow down a little bit, because now you have all of this extra time, you have all of this extra space, you have all of this extra energy, and you also know what you're doing more efficiently. So you can express yourself better. You get to continue to show up. You're still good at the change. You're still good at the transformation. You're still good at showing up. You're still good at the discipline. But that version of you that wants to express yourself a little bit more, well, now you have more room for that Mars energy. Now you have more room for that passion, for maybe some frustration. You have more room to just I want to complain sometimes. You have more room to go express yourself creatively or sensually, or to go play, to paint, to do passion projects, to have things that are not as long-term, to have things that are a little more short-term, right? This Saturn energy, Pluto energy, these aren't burning the candle at both ends energy. These are energies that are not instant gratification. These are investments towards your future. And over time, as this gets more efficient, and you continue to get better at investing into your future in this way, you're going to find that you've been setting yourself up for success, leading over time gradually more and more room for things that are maybe instant gratification, for things that are a little more creative, for things that make you feel like you finally get to grow down a little bit, not relinquishing any of your responsibility, not becoming more immature, but rather giving yourself a soft space for that version of you that was trying to find where you belong. And you look around and you find that you built it. Okay, so this is a big part of your career path. Let's see if there's anything else that you need to know here from the tarot. just preemptively do the best that you can to take care of yourself. Maybe set a little bit of a routine. On these days, we do face masks. On these days, I take a 2-hour lunch. On these days, I put some money aside for my future self and I don't touch it. It's just for vacation. Okay. On these days, I do not work. I don't care if I get called in. I don't care if I've got stuff to do. I don't care. I don't work on this day, right? Little things like this, just little policies, just preemptively to take extra care of yourself because you deserve it ahead of time. Okay. Forewarned is forearmed. Let's see what other messages Spirit has for you about your career path here for group number 1. 5 of Cups. Okay. Yeah, Queen. Okay. I do want to let you know, okay, that some of the return of this, it's going to be a slow build. It's not instant gratification. You're going to see a lot of people get instant gratification with what it is that you're doing, but you're also going to be aware of the fact that those are people that are in rooms that only exist in that room. They don't exist in other rooms. That's why that famous phrase, right? Your path is a little harder because your calling's a little higher. Okay, so this is going to happen. Now, I'm also getting to tell you, don't take things as personally, especially when you start out, okay? You're going to be learning through your career not to take things as personally. And it might be a little bit, again, of a learning curve here, but it's going to be healthy for you overall. Always express yourself authentically. This will, in some way, maybe surprisingly to you, come with travel opportunities for you. And you're also going to find that you connect with people internationally in some way as well. There's a lot that you have to teach others. And there's something about your message being able to be... There's this dynamic of you feeling heard and respected, and you feeling unheard and disrespected. So that's coming through as well, which is also why you're being called not to take things so personally, because it's not yours. It's not yours, okay? So if someone is triggered by the fact that you tell them the truth, hey, you are right where you need to be, and they're like, no, I don't want it. Okay, well, that's not yours. You don't need to go home and say, why did I say that? Is that wrong to say that? Recontemplate your whole life because somebody was weird to you, right? Because somebody copied you, because somebody stole your stuff, because somebody took your money, whatever it is, okay? That is theirs. That's not yours. So taking things less personally because it's not personal and it's not about you, that's going to be something that you end up mastering in your career path. Spirit just wants to let you know that right now. There's a learning curve for that. There's also a little bit of information here about karma comes around, okay? If you work for things, there's a return of investment. If you're in integrity, there's a return of investment in your integrity. If you are in love, you work through love, there's a return of that love towards you, okay? It might take time. Good things take time. Things that last a long time take a long time to set up, okay? Things that don't take a long time to set up, they don't last very long. You're going to notice that you outlive a lot of others in your career field because you weren't so focused on the instant gratification. You weren't focused on the superficial things because it genuinely is who you are. But you're also going to notice that you kind of dip your toe in and out of a lot of different doors, in and out of a lot of different avenues, a lot of different categories, genres, niches within that realm of whatever's underneath that umbrella that you are embodying in your career. Maybe one thing at a time, maybe 2, 3 things at a time, but slowly but surely focusing on a few things with the ability and the flexibility to grow outside of it, which a lot of people don't have. It's like you are a whole entire garden of seeds in a whole garden. And so when the first plant grows, the potted plants might be a little bit like, well, why do you have all that room? But it's because you're an entire garden, so you have all of that space. You have infinite seeds to grow a lot of different kinds of plants. You're going to feed a whole community. You're not just going to be one really, really, really pretty tree, okay? So keep that in mind. Spirit also wants you to know, okay, that you have a long road ahead of you, okay, and a lot of abundance that's going to come from this. But they do want to let you know, okay, to whatever your physical life looks like in the journey to get to whatever you're perceiving as your end goal destination right now, it's going to be a long journey. So make sure that you are staying in your power and honoring yourself the best that you can in the process because you deserve it. There are going to be days, there are going to be weeks, there are going to be people, there are going to be situations that make you maybe second guess not what you're doing, but maybe a little bit of like, do you deserve to be in that room because you're the outlier? Or that make you maybe think, well, it's happening so easily for everybody else. What about me, right? So little situations like that, they want to remind you, hey, zoom out, stand in your power. You are very much aware that with your career, you're going to end up living your dream life and also the dream life of thousands of other people, at least. So you're going to have to do things that other people don't have to do. You're going to have to deal with lessons and difficulties that other people don't have to deal with. You're going to have to deal with lessons with people that other people don't have to deal with. You're going to have to learn about finances or time or energy in ways that other people don't have to, because you're going to end up soaring that much higher. And it's not about comparison, but it is about reminding yourself that the reason why things look the way that they do for you during this journey is because of what it is that you are already a master of. And it's not, if you want to say it's not fair, in certain moments, which your feelings are always valid, okay? But there's this message coming through from Spirit that some days you're going to say, hey, this simply isn't fair, the way that things work for me and the way that things work for other people. Spirit wants to kind of retaliate that and say, but also it's not fair how you're a master of all 58 of these categories, and the person that you're comparing yourself to can only do one, maybe two of them, okay? So there's a little bit of that. Remember, everything is balanced at the end of the day. Your calling's a lot higher. There's a lot of really strong exponential growth for you throughout your career, but you are going to be starting at 1, and then that 1 becomes 2, and then that 2 becomes 4. It's not like you scratch off a lottery ticket and then the next day everything works out for you. And I'm also getting, did you know on average most inheritances, generational wealth and inheritances, like they typically only last 18 months, okay? And I'm getting that does not just apply to that situation. So for you, you start at 1. The 1 ends up at 2. The 2 ends up at 4. You don't just scratch off a lottery ticket. You get €1 trillion, and then it's gone in 18 months, right? You don't get 15 minutes of fame. You don't get 15 minutes that one TED Talk you did and it lasts forever. You don't get, it's you have to build your way there a little bit more, okay? Spirit also wants to let you know that you're going to end up building a significant amount of stability for yourself, comfortability for yourself. And it also, this final message here for you is remember that your path will not look like anybody else's that you meet. So you're going to have people around you who are really struggling financially, and they're going to try to bring that energy into you. Their situation, it's not your situation. You're going to have people around you where it's super unfair to you, perhaps, the amount of the lack of effort that they put through, the lack of education that they have, the lack of qualification that they have, and the fact that they just end up with a billion promotions and a lot of money and put no effort in and no education in, and they don't know what they're doing, but things just work out a lot better for them for some reason, and it's going to feel not fair. Your situation is not their situation. Your path is your path alone, and their path is their path alone. Emphasis on your path is yours alone. Focus on you, okay? Focus on you. Go at it alone. It might feel daunting. Sometimes you want a little help, okay? You're going to notice that your help comes from Spirit, and also the reminder that you are a master of several different things, because chemistry can help you with your biology, because physics can help you with your biology, because Reiki can help you with your tarot, because astrology can help you with your tarot, okay? Because investing can help you with your finances, okay? This is why. Because you have tools that other people don't have. So you're able to build something that will compound, but it's going to be more bricklaying for you, because what you're building is going to be longer lasting and also a lot bigger. So you'll find that it takes you a little bit longer to get to the second story, a little bit longer to get to the third story. People might not even be able to tell what you're building at first. So stick with it and be gentle with yourself the whole time. No matter what situation you walk through in this life, in your career, remember that your path is your own. Stand in your power, because you know where you're going. You've been shown where you're going. And that's not even the end goal. It's just the destination that Spirit is using to show you that that's a place that you're going to pass through at some point. And when you arrive there, which you will, you're going to, at that point, be given a new one, and a new one, and a new one. You are always worth bigger and better. And you will always take the integrity path. So, with that being said, surround yourself with good people who are not in your industry. Surround yourself with good people who are good communicators, and you're going to find that your people, they're not all in your neighborhood. You're going to find that one of them is in Switzerland. You're going to find that one of them is in Canada. You're going to find that one of them is in Argentina. You're going to find that one of them is in South Africa, okay? Because people like you, first of all, you are the only person like you, and that is what your career is going to very strongly emphasize and show. And people who are that in their own right and can see, honor, respect, and cheer for that, also, people who can stand next to that, people who can live with that and support that and be that in their own right, they're few and far between. So they're not going to be the people that you toss a rock outside, and the people that are around that rock, are there. It's not going to be people who are in that one room that you're in right now. Okay? It's not to say that there's not one or two in there, but it's to say, don't get your hopes up right out the gate. Okay? Things are going to go really, really well for you. You're going to surpass your dreams. Seriously. And it's going to happen sooner than you think too. But it's not going to happen overnight. Okay? So temper your expectations. But do not shrink your dreams. This is your message from Spirit about your career path, group number 1. I love you. I'm grateful for you. If you do want a personal reading, I have them 50% off right now. So now's a great time to book a one-on-one with me. I do want to mention as well, I've had a few of you reach out to me when I've done sales saying that you want to take advantage of the sale, but you don't know what you want to ask yet. You're not ready for a reading. So if you want to book one and just kind of hold it, you can do that too, and just let me know when you're ready if you want to work with me. I do have all of these decks available on my store on Etsy at Spiritualistik, and if you want to meditate with me, it is a 21-day guided meditation retreat. I can hold your hand and we will level you up together so you are not alone, and you have access to it for the rest of your life. So any of the 21 guided meditations that work with you, if you want to work with the one on Dharma or the one on forgiveness or the one on consciousness, expansion, Akashic records, past lives, all of that stuff, you have access to it forever. So whatever resonates with you in that path during your journey, it's there for you for the rest of your life, okay? Because sometimes you just want someone to hold your hand, and it's not always the most accessible thing in this life, especially when you're on the spiritual journey. So that's exactly why I created that. With that being said, I love you. I'm grateful for you. Feel free to subscribe to my YouTube if you're not already. I do have a membership channel here if you want more messages. I'm over on Patreon as well for even more messages. And of course, most of you know I'm on TikTok. That's where you'll find me the most often. So with that being said, I love you. I'm grateful for you. Thank you for the love and the support. Always feel free to reach out to me with anything that you could ever need. Check out my spiritual store. I'll see you next time. Have an amazing rest of your day, week, month, year, and incarnation in this beautiful magical realm. Namaste. Hi there, group 2. Namaste, and welcome to your reading. Today we're looking at messages to you about your career path, and you select the second group with the Revisiting Priorities card. Group 2, what I'm getting here is that your career path is going to require a lot of work. It's going to be something that, and hold on, it's going to be something that does require a lot of effort. However, it will be the most successful when it's not the number one priority in your life. Now, you might have reasons or attachments that all of which are valid in your human experience as to why you might want it to be the first priority, right? You want to make sure you live a comfortable life. You want to make sure that you're eating. You want to make sure that you're taking care of your responsibilities, right? You might love what you do. It might be very important to you. But your career path here, the first message that's coming through is that your career will be the best. It will be the most in flow. It will be the most abundant when it's not the most important thing in your life. Now, is providing for yourself and your family, is it important? Yes, it is. However, without saying, hey, group 2, go slack off, because remember the first message, it is something that's going to require a lot of investment. It's going to require a lot of effort. However, there's this reminder here that your career is not the biggest thing in your life. Your life is. So, there's a little bit of this reminder here coming out right out the gate to give yourself a little more love and revisit your priorities here, especially pertaining to your work. Now, you are the most successful in life and in your career when your career is not the first thing that is important to you. Now, it's not saying to slack off, of course, but it is saying here that when you cherish other things in your life more than your career, when you focus on cultivating relationships, and there's a balance, right? There's a learning curve to finding the balance, your work-life balance, of course. When you work on cultivating relationships, when you work on making sure that you are moving your body, you are going outside, you are staying hydrated, you're taking care of yourself, you are having hobbies, you have a healthy love life, you have whatever it is that resonates with you. There are so many different areas of life besides just your career. However, your career might be a very significant part of your life. You could have heavy 10th house placements or heavy Capricornian or Saturn placements in your chart. You could also just be someone who loves what you do. You could be a bit of a workaholic. It can be one or a few of those options. However, you're going to find that while, yes, your career is something that is going to take a lot of effort from you, it's not meant to take from you. It's not meant to take from other parts of your life. So there's a little bit of this not compartmentalizing, but almost this mental reprioritizing. Like if you were to think of your mind like a file folder, your career might be in the front 2-3 tabs. And you're being encouraged to shuffle it back to the middle, or maybe even like 2/3 towards the back. Just shuffle it somewhere in the middle. Now, it's not to say that you're not still showing up, maybe the same hours, the same energy, but it is saying that where your attention goes, energy grows. But your career isn't the only thing that you want to grow. And with that in mind, detachment is what attracts things. Your attention's been going to your career. You're going to put a lot of attention on your career. That detachment, that's also why focusing on other things is actually going to bring you more success in your career, because you put a lot into your career, because it takes a lot of effort. So when you do detach, yes, you've been growing it. When you detach, boom, your manifestations come in, and you get to enjoy your life. And you find a little more balance, and you feel a little more fulfilled, a little more well-rounded. And this is the first message that wants to come out for you today about your career path. So group number 2, we're going to see where in your natal chart to take a look at pertaining to your career path here. So we have that which is hidden or unseen. We have something that's a little bit quirky. I'm hearing the phrase you coded. Okay, we've got Aquarius and Uranus here. So take a look at not just these specific energies. Do, of course, look at the 8th house, look at Aquarius, look at Uranus, the planet in your natal chart, but also take a look at if you have a planet in its ruling sign. See if you do have Mars in Aries. See if you do have Pluto in Scorpio. See if you do have Venus in Taurus or Libra. See if you do have Mercury in Gemini. That is going to be a powerhouse for you that you're being encouraged to lean into for your career path. The more that you lean into that energy, it might be a little sneaky, the stronger or the more effortless you'll be able to act through your career, because the more powerful your inherent gift in that way is, okay? So, taking a look at that, let's get into the tarot. It seems as though your career path, it's going to be something that takes a lot of different shapes over time. So it might be something where you start selling a particular thing, then you sell something else, then you sell something completely different. I'm getting the energy of something that's very eclectic here going on. It's giving creative, eclectic. It's Aquarian by nature. It's Aquarian, Scorpionic. But there's a little bit of this, should I be doing this? Should I not be doing this? Am I just attached to it? Your career, you might have several times where you're like, should I just, I don't know, go get a job as a waiter? There might be several times in your career where you're like, well, am I just being too weird? Am I being too unrelatable? Am I being too individualized, too individualistic? Are my goals too high? Little things like this, okay? Now, there is this reminder here that you are educated enough, and there are missing factors that you don't see yet, okay? That are why you feel so strongly drawn towards this career path of yours. So, you might find that maybe you're just a creator in general. Maybe you write books and you make songs. Maybe you, it's giving, maybe you want to do all of the things while you're alive. Okay, so it's not that you are maybe a musician and you like all of the different genres of music. It's kind of giving, you want to be a musician, then you want to be a painter, and then you want to be a finance dude, and then you want to go be a fitness trainer, and then after that you want to go be a yoga teacher, and after that you want to go be a biologist. It's a little bit of this kind of energy here. But there is, in your career path, there is a common denominator here, but that common denominator here is you and your individuality. It's kind of giving you are the brand, regardless of what your career path looks like, okay? Now, again, this devil energy coming through, it does kind of take a look at the first energy that we channeled here for you, which is be careful not to overly attach yourself to your career. This can be a little bit of a, hey, make sure that we're not getting into that workaholic kind of vibe here. When you find that life stresses you out, try to make a point not to direct that into your career. Okay, that's not to say that we can't put the pedal to the metal, you can't go get the bag, right? We appreciate these things, they're great, they're fun. However, for your balance, your well-being, for you to be in the highest alignment with your career path, it's just a little reminder, when life stresses you out a little bit, maybe take it out on your yoga mat, okay? Maybe take it out on a canvas and paint it, but try not to direct it into your career, okay? That's a strong message coming through here, because there's a little bit of a workaholic tendency that's coming through here, or a hyper fixation on your work. Now, this is something that you've evolved out of, but the habit might still be there. So it's kind of like you've evolved out of it mentally, emotionally, spiritually, but physically you're still kind of breaking the habit a little bit, okay? It can make sense, okay? So with this, the next message that's coming through for you is that, well, there is a career path that is specifically meant for you and you alone. It is perfect. Now, there are a lot of people out there who they have a job and then the job is to sustain their life outside their job. Well, you do have a specific path that is connected to your career that is going to require a lot of effort. It's going to require some passion. It's going to require a little extra elbow grease from you. And it is going to be in alignment for you. Part of your career path is staying in alignment, and whatever that looks like, whatever the symptoms of that alignment are, that is what your career path looks like. And this is why it's going to be important for you not to focus on your career, because it can so easily become that your life and your career become enmeshed. And so this is a message that wants to come out here as well. So while this is beautiful, while it's a nice energy, it's like you get paid for existing, you get paid for being yourself, right? You might be familiar with some of these affirmations. That's a great intention to have, right? However, you don't want life to be your work and work to be your life, because then there's no separation there. And that is something that you're going to need to learn over time. So you're being given the precautionary energy now, just to let you know. Now, this is, of course, going to be something that asks you to take a look at you and what is so unique and different and special and quirky about you. You and what do you like? What do you feel? What do you want to work through, right? So all of these beautiful energies, helpful as they might be, might make it so that you feel a little bit sometimes like you just want a home base to come back to, right? So this might be a little bit of an energy of the, for an example's sake, the traveler who sometimes just really wants that stable home, but you know that you're called to travel. This is kind of the energy of that business owner who works really, really hard, but sometimes just really wishes that they just had a 9-to-5 so they could show up and they have their hours and they know how much they're going to get paid at the end of the month, right? It's kind of giving this vibe a little bit. So your message here for this actually has to do with trusting the unseen, the unknown. And you're going to find this come up as a common theme here. You're going to find you don't know how something's going to work out, or you don't know whether something's going to go like to plan. There's a little bit of unknown here that comes up maybe every now and then, and when it does, your job is to have the faith and things come through for you. The material abundance comes through, but it does come through last, okay? I'm getting to tell you that a lot of the things that you envision for yourself from your career path, they're going to occur. However, they're not going to occur in the order that you would maybe think or hope, or the one that you think is the most rational for them to come through. For example, if you think that you will first, say in your career path, first you'll start making the money, and then you will buy the house. And then you will get the promotion, and then you will feel super fulfilled. It might come that you feel super fulfilled, and then you get the promotion, and then the money comes later. Okay, so it's kind of this out of order energy, but it's not actually out of order. What this is making sure that you love what you do, but you also love, if we look at your world as within, so without, right? The way that your internal world is and your external world reflects that. If we look at that as a clear mirror, okay, we also want to look at this and there's your career and then there's your life outside of your career. We want those to be clear mirrors too. So you want to enjoy your life. You want to enjoy your career. You want to be fulfilled in your career. You want to be fulfilled in your life. Now that might seem like obvious when I'm saying it to you, and it might be something that you're aware of to work towards, but it's not always on everybody's awareness list. It's not always on everybody's priority list. When they're working through their life, they just want a job that pays the bills and then they go have fun, right? For you, it's a little more nuanced, and that is why this needs to come out, or wants to come out, rather, in a way that's a little more just, hey, we're going to state the obvious here for you just so that you can keep it in your pocket when you need it. Gentle reminder, okay? For your career path, there's also this energy here about your introspection, your self-reflection, your inner world showing up is very prevalent here. So it might be the kind of thing where in your career, you are kind of the mysterious one. Maybe in your career, you are a little bit more introverted. Maybe your career is to be an extrovert, but you're introverted in real life. Maybe you show up to your job and maybe you at work isn't maybe you in your personal life. And it's not giving like wearing a mask. It's just giving being multidimensional. This Aquarius, Uranian energy, where there are a lot of different moving pieces here. So your internal world, your internal journey, your internal reflection is going to be something that really guides your career. It's going to be like the lighthouse of which direction your career is going in. I'm also getting that your astrology or the astrology transits can help you out with this in some way as well. Some of you might literally be astrologers or want to do that in the future at some point. Yeah, it's definitely about your progression, because I'm getting the energy of secondary progression. Okay, so there's something about this progression as well. Also, you can look at your secondary progression chart. If you want, AstroSeek is a good place to look at your secondary progressions. But see also there if there is a house ruler, if there's a like a planetary ruler in that sign For example, we have Aquarius and Uranus coming out here. So take a look in your secondary progressions for Mercury and Gemini, or Mercury and Virgo, or something along these lines. The Moon in Cancer, for example. Now, you are going to find that you are very stable financially in your career, but there's also this energy of this being kind of hidden a little bit, where you might find that when you, whether you're doing well or not financially, it's kind of giving, no one really knows how much you make, okay, except for you, maybe the person in charge of paying you. And there's also a little bit of this stress or confusion about the unknown, a little bit of stress or confusion about maybe the finances, receiving the finances, the consistent stability, something like this here. And so this is going to require a lot of strength from you. It is going to require a lot of effort from you, but this is also why, because it's going to be a long journey, because it's going to be something that requires a lot of intention from you, it's not meant to be your first priority. It's meant to be somewhere in the middle, okay? Because it's something that's going to take a long time. So make sure that it's not number one priority. Make sure we're not getting into workaholic territory here. Another thing that's coming through about your career path is that there is going to need to be a lot of, say, innovation, maybe keeping up with the times, maybe just the ability to kind of change shape, I guess, over time. It keeps coming up here. It's changes that's coming through, okay? So it might be something like needing to consistently evolve over time. It can be something like maybe you set the trend and then that is the trend and now you need to evolve because it's no longer the trend. It's kind of giving something like this. It can be that maybe you're working with the same clients over a long period of time. Something is to be said about consistency, but what's really coming through here is innovation really strongly. So let's see what else you need to know. Okay, it's really important that you stay balanced in your personal life. This keeps coming through. Focusing on relationships, your relationship with yourself and your relationship with others, okay? You're never too busy to take a shower, okay? You're never too busy to hydrate. You're never too busy to meditate for 5 minutes. You're never too busy to have a call with a loved one, right? Sometimes it feels like that. Genuinely, very, very valid, okay? But make sure that you are moving in a way that is fulfilling for you in areas that are not work as well. Another thing that's coming through is that if you ever need help or support or you're feeling stressed, don't be afraid to speak up, okay? Okay, you are going to end up being more successful than you are expecting in your career. It's going to be beautiful. There is more abundance than you're expecting, but it doesn't mean that it's coming without its difficulties or its headache or its trial and error, okay? Just being real with you, what I see here. But for your career path, you're going to notice as well that ideas are golden. Like there's something about intellectual property or intellectual property infringement that's coming through here. So make sure that you get a patent early on. Make sure that you state that something is your intellectual property. Be vocal about it, because there's something about intellectual property infringement that's coming through. Or I'm also getting something that you're just going to need to get used to. It depends on what field you're in. For example, content creation. I know that I personally have been I've created ideas that have literally never been done in pick a card readings before at least 50 different freaking times. At least 50 different times. I will scour the internet, scour YouTube, and it's literally nowhere. And then within like a week or 2 weeks, now it's diluted with that idea because there are only so many ideas to go around. Creativity is not very common in this field, although it might not seem like that all of the time. Okay, so it's something like that where when it's content creation, you kind of just have to get used to it. When it's something like a product that you're selling, you're going to want to make sure that you have a patent for that, okay? Otherwise, someone else can steal your idea. So it depends on your field, okay? But just letting you know that that is going to be out there for you in your career in some way, shape, or form, because this is about your individuality, okay? It's about your genuine, authentic expression of self. Now, there are going to be times where you feel like it's difficult to stick with this, okay? There are going to be moments where you feel, what if I just did get something more stable? Again, it's giving that you're a traveler, but you really just want that place to call home. It's giving that you are that entrepreneur, that CEO, but sometimes you just want to be told what to do, right? It's giving you're a creative, but sometimes you want to just have something that's predictable. You don't want to have to create everything all the time, right? So you're going to have moments like that. Again, another reason why it's important for you to make sure you're taking care of yourself and creating opportunities to have inspiration in other areas of your life, to make sure that you're taking care of yourself, make sure that you're having fun, make sure that you're cultivating relationships, so on and so forth. You are going to feel very spiritually drawn towards this career path. You know this as well. You feel very, very spiritually drawn towards something in particular, whether it's a particular career, a niche, whether it's a vibe, whether it's the direction you're going in, the message that you have to spread through your career, just helping people, whatever it is. You know that you feel very spiritually connected to it. It almost feels like a soul contract, if that's your flavor of spirituality, okay? With that being said, the more that you are in alignment with your soul truth, the more that you are in alignment with your individual soul truth, the more abundant you're going to be. But your individual soul truth is larger than your career. That's also why we have this energy of the possibility of enmeshment between your life and your work, especially for maybe some of those content creators out there, or artists, or things like that, writers, right? So it's going to be important to make sure that you separate those things and stay in alignment with both. Okay, I'm getting take one foot forward with one and the other foot forward in one. It's like have one foot in your career, one foot in your life outside your career, and move forward step after step after step to make sure that it stays balanced. When you are in full soul alignment in your career and out of your career, the money will continue to flow. But when you're doing that, your career is not your number one priority. So this is a big message that wants to come through for you. I'm also getting that you're going to be able in some way to track your energy levels, or you're going to need to be aware of your energy levels, your personal energy levels with your career in some way. We've got the moon and the 7 of wands with the Queen of Pentacles, which lets me know, full moon, higher energy, new moon, lower energy, right? So in moments like this, you're going to find that, winter, sleepy, summer, excited, spring, blossoming, fall, decompressing, right? Like energies like this that are normal, natural in your own personal life, your own personal life cycles. So you're going to want to maybe your energetic equivalent of storing up for winter, your energetic equivalent of on the days you have extra energy, do a little more for the days that you have a little less energy. Okay, something like that's coming through. You might also want to carry this message into your finances as well, if that's available to you. Okay, and maybe even into your personal relationships as well. Okay, so the next message about your career path, it's going to be that you're going to notice that certain things happen really quickly and others really slowly. So don't expect the same rate of growth consistently throughout your career. You're going to find that sometimes it blows up, you do really, really well, and other times it's very, very slow. And it's not going to have too much of a pattern to it. There's a method to the madness, but it's more energetic than anything. It's not something that can really be manipulated or manifested in this sense, okay? It's just happening the way that it's supposed to. Some things are going to be really difficult and take a lot of effort, and they're going to take a long time. Other things are going to take little effort and take no energy and happen really quickly and grow really big, okay? One is not better than the other. It's good to have the dichotomy of both, but do pay attention to, I'm getting that 80-20 rule in your finances or in your career pertaining to 80% or 20% of your work yields 80% of the results. So keep an eye out for those things, and if you want, maybe water that garden a little bit extra, okay? So that's a message that's coming through here. So group number 2, this is the message that I have for you about your career path. If you want to dive into this personally, I do have 50% off my one-on-ones right now, so you can find that in the description box if you're interested. If you want to meditate with me, I do have a 21-day guided meditation retreat. We can hold hands and we can level you up together, mind, body, and spirit. You also have access to it forever, so you can always have these meditations to go to so that they can become your daily meditations as well. So super easy, super accessible, and it's definitely intended to be a journey. So it'll definitely take you wherever you are in your spiritual journey, your physical journey, and level you up significantly from there. So with that being said, I love you. I'm grateful for you. Don't forget to check out my Patreon, my YouTube membership page, my little inner circle over there. You can join my book club if you want to. You can check out my spiritual store. I make decks, tarot and oracle decks. I've written some books. I've got crystals that I hand wrap and I send out to you, candles, merchandise, fun stuff like that. So you know where to find it. It's all going to be in the description box below. I love you. I'm grateful for you. Please have an amazing rest of your day, week, month, year, and incarnation of this beautiful magical realm. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Please. And I'll see you next time. Namaste. Hi there, group 3. Namaste, and welcome to your reading. Today I'm channeling messages to you about your career path, and you selected the 3rd group with the Time for a Change card. Group number 3, you are aware that you are on the precipice of something new. Of course, you did select the Time for a Change card. Group 3, you are really feeling like there's a change in the wind. Maybe you want to start a new project. Maybe you want to take a totally new career path. But there's definitely some sort of change that is occurring. Now, I'm getting there's a little bit of a question of whatever is going to sustain you as you turn this corner, right? It might be that you are thinking about the space in between leaving your old job and finding a new one, perhaps sustaining your current job, going out on interviews, maybe starting another business while running your current business. That transitional energy, whether it's how you sustain your energy, you sustain your time, you sustain your finances, you sustain your sanity, right? Time for a change. So the first messages that are coming through here about your career path is that a change is destined, and you always knew this was going to happen as well, but you also maybe have a lot of different options about what it is that you can do. Now, you're also aware that the universe is guiding you, was kind of telling you, hey, stay here for a little bit. And I'm getting that you're going to keep up what it is that you're doing, but you are expanding your bandwidth, meaning that as it's time for a change, you're going to keep your current job while you look for a new one. It might be that you keep your current job while you start your new business. It might be that you keep doing what it is that you're doing while you branch out, while you segue into something new. There is a little bit of this blunt energy here for you, where it feels as though you are ready for a change, but you are also aware that it's going to require maybe a little bit of courage, a little bit of strength, a little bit of maybe just do it, right? 3, 2, 1, rip it off like a band-aid. And you might also be aware that this isn't something that other people would necessarily feel comfortable with you doing. For example, maybe you have a stable, steady job and your parents are like, yes, that's great, you stay there until it's time to retire. And you're like, yeah, but I'm not doing what I'm passionate about, right? I am surviving, but I am not thriving, right? And so maybe you tell your parents, well, if you were to tell them, hey, I want to start a business, or hey, I want to go to school for this, or hey, I want to see if I can get into this field, right? The people around you might say, oh, no, we don't support that. And it might not be out of malintent. It might just be out of lack of understanding. Now, it doesn't need to be that specific situation, but this could be, say that you have a lot of clients, say that you are a therapist, right? Maybe you want to create some sort of, maybe you also want to be a yoga teacher, right? And so the decision to tell your clients, hello, unfortunately, in the future, I won't be able to move forward with our sessions. It will be a while, and I'll be happy to help you find somebody else that you resonate with and feel comfortable in this setting with. I can recommend people to you, so on and so forth. Now, it might also be that you are looking to expand in a particular direction. Of course, you're going to know when the time is right what direction, at least energetically at the very least, you are called to move in. But I'm also getting that some of you could be expanding your path on your career so that the road itself actually widens a bit, meaning that you have more resources or more time or more energy or more inspiration. And so you want to maybe take on more responsibility. You want to take on some more things. And so it's going to require some sort of change to perhaps your daily routine or your mindset or something like this. Now, that is enough off the first card. Let's get into the messages that want to come through. First, I'm going to take a look at the dice. We're going to see what you should look at in your natal chart for more messages and guidance about this career path of yours. So there's definitely this element here of you moving forward, of course. Now we've got Gemini and number 3, and Gemini is the ruler of the 3rd house, okay, also the 6th house, but this is really giving Mercury and Gemini. Gemini is the 3rd zodiac sign, okay? So we do have this mercurial energy, but we also have this energy of your neighborhood coming up. So there's something about your neighborhood. How do the people around you usually respond to their career path? What does that look like on average? Okay, there's some sort of leg up that you have here, okay? Due to maybe it's your upbringing, but maybe it's just the way that the people around you navigate. Okay, so I'm getting to tell you that there are some people that you could maybe network with, but really take a little peek off their page. For example, say that you are in an affluent neighborhood and a lot of your neighbors, maybe they invest a lot. Maybe they have 8 different streams of income. Maybe they are like me, and I live on the beach in San Diego, and all of my neighbors somehow have like 10 times more money than me and also have 10 times less of a job than me. I don't know. But like talking to them would be like helpful for the path forward, right? A lot of them own businesses, or they invest, or they have like 5 part-time jobs so they can just kind of do what vibes with them, right? Different people do different things. But where I live, everyone kind of owns a business or they follow their dreams. It's more normal. Whereas other places that I've lived in the past, for example, my small college town when I went to university, everyone was kind of like, okay, so get into construction early and then you can just build up a 401k over time. Or get a job at the grocery store and you're totally cool chilling there. Like, they pay you, you can live, period, right? So something about who you're surrounded by, like your neighborhood, the environment that you are around, and kind of I'm getting bouncing ideas off of the people who do not have a personal opinion or a stake in the game about what it is that you do in the future. Okay, so this might be like you talking to maybe your neighbor, but not your neighbor that you hang out with every day. Maybe a neighbor that you just are kind of super, like, you're okay with. You know, you're chill with them. You don't know them that well. You might be surprised to find out, hey, they've got a good idea, but it's not the wheelhouse that you would normally express yourself in. Or walking around your neighborhood and seeing what kind of things are, like, what people are doing what and where. Okay, it might be like in my town, I know this is certainly not the case everywhere, but you'll find oftentimes younger people holding down like retail jobs, and then they kind of use that as their stability as they grow into something new. Like, they'll figure out what they want to do, or they will save up some money for the future, or they will start their business while they're working retail, right? That's not really seen as the end goal. Now, it's different for everybody and what you feel drawn to do in your life path, and it's also different where you live and what's normal for you, what you feel drawn to, right? Be honest and authentic with yourself. That is the most important thing here. But we do have this element of community, specifically with your neighborhood, with the third house. That is a very overlooked aspect of the third house here, as well as north node. So you're moving in the direction of your north node. So do take a look at that in your natal chart. What house is it in? What zodiac sign is it in? Which planets? Is it conjunct or sextile or trine? Specifically conjunct or sextile, okay? We do also have a little bit of this hot-cold energy, meaning that this change you are called into your career path might feel like a 180. It might feel like you need to totally flip your routine inside out. It might feel like you are going from like hot to cold, black to white, or it's like a 90-degree turn, like it's a hard left, right? Or it might just be that the changes required of you in order to make this change to your career would require a hard left, right? So whatever that looks like for you, take a look at your third house. Take a look at where you have Gemini in your chart. Bonus points if you look at Mercury as well, because we do have that emphasis on that energy. And take a look at your north node. So you're going to know which direction that you are moving towards. And I'm getting, don't worry, because your north node is not what you're actually meant to fully grow into. Your balanced point, it's actually the central axis point between your south node and your north node. It's true, north node is what you're learning, south node is what you've mastered, but they're both your toolbox. They're the toolbox that you have inherently mastered that come naturally to you, and the tools that you will acquire in your toolbox as well. But you don't want to neglect the tools that you have of the things that come easy to you. The balance point of your energy is the point between your south node and your north node. The perfect balance between those two signs. So you're being encouraged to take a look at some of the newer tools that you have in your toolbox. Take a look at your north node here and utilize these tools. It doesn't mean that that's who you need to grow into. There's a reason why it always doesn't feel 100% right, like that's who you're supposed to grow into. When people tell you you're supposed to be your north node, there's a reason for that, because it's not accurate. However, it is an entire new toolbox that you acquire during this life that you will enjoy, that will help you thrive, that will help you grow in that general direction. That is how, these are the tools you use to move in your forward direction. But we want to stay balanced. We don't want to overcorrect, right? So there also can be something about time. We have 3, which is also an element of time. North node, it talks about the future. We have the time element coming out through your card here that you selected. So it can be something where time is of the essence, or it's about time for a change. So we do have this element as well of manifestation that's coming through. So let's see messages about your career path here. Yeah. It seems as though you like to work in the energetic realm specifically. You are the kind of energy who maybe you like to, or you've learned to, work smarter and not harder. You would rather manifest accurately than, let's say, do trial and error. And that's valid. Everybody navigates the world differently. Maybe you used to use trial and error and then you realize, wait, I can just use this tool belt. Maybe manifestation or spiritual gifts are part of this tool belt of yours. With your path, it seems as though it's pretty faded. I'm getting that if you look at your, especially midheaven, because that is, if you look at your midheaven in your astrology chart, you're going to be able to see probably something that's pretty self-explanatory. We do have time, Gemini, and 3, so we do have a lot of this, like, it's spelling it out for you quite a bit, okay? So would it, at the very least, the realm that you're called to work in on your career path, it's going to be quite obvious for you, at least the general vicinity or the general direction, okay? Now with this change here, it seems like this is something that you get to manifest. So you've got a few different options, but you're also used to there being a right answer and a wrong answer. Now this is a little bit less the case moving into this change. So the question is, you know what it looks like to show up and commit to the bit on something that you absolutely know is right for you. You know beyond any doubt it is the right answer, more or less objectively, for you. Now you're being called into this energy of moving forward with what it is that you desire, what it is that you want. How do you express yourself as an individual and move forward to that? Because you know what it looks like to fully commit yourself in the sense. However, when you do sign up for this, when you do commit to this, there's less of a right or a wrong answer, and it's more of a you answer. So there's a little bit more room for interpretation. If you look at it like this, we'll use the South Node and North Node examples or past life, future life kind of examples, okay? If you have something that you've already etched into stone, you can easily trace it. But when you're done tracing it, you now know how to write. Now you get to create what it is that you will write in the future. So it's a little bit like this, okay? So you're looking at something that's a little bit less written in stone for you. I'm also hearing the song Turn to Stone by Ingrid Michaelson. Is that her name? I don't quite remember. So messages about your career path. I'm getting something specific about 555. We do have 517, which in time, it's 5, right? Military time, 24-hour time. 555 coming through here as well. So there's something significant about perhaps sunset, time of day, about 555, about a big change. Okay. You see 555 when you are at an apex of a situation, letting you know that you are at the peak and it's about to go back down. That's a message Spirit wanted to tell you specifically, okay? 555 does mean change is coming. And it's also 3. It's in 3. So for you right now, look at things coming in 3s. This is sent by your angels, your guardians, your ancestors, your spirit guides, okay? Things coming in 3s. And 555 will come for you when you're already at the peak and it's about to change in that sense, okay? I'm getting it's the least that they could do. So it's the least that they could do for you not having as much of a decision as maybe other people or as much as you would have liked when it comes to what you committed yourself to, when it comes to your life path. It seems as though maybe you are walking in a path right now in your career that you've walked through in your last life, maybe the life before that, maybe the life before that, right? If we look at linear time in this sense of incarnation, right? Because there are different consciousness levels and different perspectives on that, right? So just understand the energy and translate it as necessary for your understanding. Okay, it's okay. So we have this sense of you almost being like signed on to something that maybe you're happy to, but you didn't necessarily get to pick in this life. Although it is for you, and you wouldn't complain about it, but there's this little bit of a lack of a choice here. It feels as though maybe you had a little less free will than other people, or something like this. Okay. Perspective-wise, of course. So for your career path, as you move forward, you might want to move a little more slowly. You might want to experience things a little more slowly. You want to maybe tiptoe a little bit because you didn't get to pick. You didn't have the trial and error as much. You knew what was right and you knew what was wrong, and you didn't have much of a choice, and you needed to show up and you needed to act correctly. Now you know how to do these things, but what's left, it's more free will. It's more up to interpretation. It's more creative, and so you might feel a little shy about it. I'm hearing the song Daisies by Justin Bieber. So this feeling like you need guidance externally is coming to a close. Believe it or not. With your career path, you're going to find that things happen quite quickly for you once you decide which direction you're going to go in. A big part of the journey for you, it's finding what makes you happy. It's kind of the energy where there's a right answer, there's a right answer, there's a right answer, and then it's like, boom, you're free and you're liberated. You can do whatever you want, no wrong answers. It's kind of the opposite of the way that people are usually raised. When people are little kids, usually they get to run around, they can act however they want, they scream, they cry, they play, they laugh, they're loud, they knock things over, they're exploring, right? They're exploring. And then as you get older, you kind of get more refined. You learn, okay, so I'm going to fit in with society. These are the rules for being inside this kind of building and the rules for eating at a table around this kind of society. And here's how I behave at work. It kind of feels like inside out of this for you. Okay, it feels like when you were younger, you had all of these rules. There's right and there's wrong. Not just maybe socially, but perhaps also mentally, perhaps also emotionally, perhaps also spiritually as well. It's giving spiritually refined. It's giving efficient. It's giving time management. It might even be giving, I'm hearing the phrase child labor for some of you. Okay, hope not. But it's something like this. So now you have more of an element of free will when it comes to your career path. And so part of this is you communicating that which you've mastered, but specifically parts of your story that you have not shared much, using tools that are new to you in a direction that is something that aligns with you emotionally and is fulfilling to you as an individual. It's almost going from precisely spiritually correct, however, it's giving you stress and anxiety because there doesn't feel like there's a lot of free will going on here. Although there is, you're choosing to be in alignment. However, this time, there's no wrong answer. So you're utilizing new tools to express what you've mastered that others don't know about you or others haven't gotten to see. You're bouncing ideas off of people that are around you because the universe is connecting with you in this way. You are reading the signs that are around you, of course, a little more literally than perhaps others, right? You don't need to sit on your phone and Google it, right? It's kind of giving, you see a butterfly flying through the sky and then all of a sudden someone texts you the butterfly emoji and all of a sudden shuffle comes on your iPod and it's a song called Butterfly, right? It's giving literal here. We have this 555, we have 114, so this is a lot of angelic energy. You might have an angelic theme following your career in some way, shape, or form, and a lot of changes. This is something that constantly changes, but it has to do with your ability to communicate. I'm getting that you are a master communicator, but it's also something that you've activated over time, but it's something that you're learning how to almost deactivate, how to play a little more, how to create a little more. It's giving that perhaps you were in finance, or perhaps you were in marketing, except now you choose to become a painter. Now you choose to express yourself authentically. Maybe you were writing nonfiction books and now you're choosing to write fiction, right? It's kind of giving this. It's giving free will. It's giving more creativity over time. It's giving almost self-indulgence in a way that was specifically forbidden for you in a particular way. This is coming to a close. I'm also getting for a lot of you, in your career path, there's going to be more and more travel over time that is available to you if you so choose. But I'm also getting hands off. So this is the kind of thing where someone could be arranging your trips for you. People could be flying you out places. You could need to go on work trips. Things like this. So it's a little bit less like you are setting things up and a little bit more you are being swept off your feet from the universe. So let's get a little more information here about your career path specifically. There's a lot here that's hidden because it is all about communication, the way that you interpret your life and the way that you communicate the way that your life has been. It's the way that you communicate, the way that you interpret the parts of your life that are not seen to the public eye or to your family or friends, whatever like this. And maybe those little bits and pieces that you express to your neighborhood, the people around you. Now, using new tools that you've acquired throughout your life, you are going to be able to put them all together and create something beautiful. But it's going to be something that's unique to you, and it might be something that starts in the home. It's going to be something that is really close to your heart in some way, and also blows off some steam, helps you blow off some steam a little bit. You might feel like it's a little bit irrelevant, and that might stress you out a little bit, but over time, you will find that this is actually a very tactical, rational, logical choice, and that there's a lot of abundance here as well. But you're also going to notice that it does create a 90-degree change, and, there are things to be released as this occurs as well. There's also a highlight of community building, things like this, it seems as though it's one thing that leads to another, that leads to another, that leads to another, and the journey of that, the process of that, you communicating that, is going to be the start of this career change. And after you are now, in some sense, communicating this, you're going to look back and look at, well, on the journey, I learned how to do X, I learned how to do Y, I learned how to do Z. What if I incorporate these things into this career? And so this changes a little bit. And in the process of incorporating those things, you learned a couple new skills. And you said, oh, what if I apply A and B and C? And it evolves in the sense, it's almost like a snowball. However, it focuses on your personal interpretation of your life journey and you getting to do more and more of what suits you, more and more of what fulfills you, more and more of what you like, which is really beautiful. There's not much of an emphasis here on finances. We have a little bit of a Page of Pentacles, which can be giving a gift. It can be an investment. It can be like a small investment that kicks this off. Page of Pentacles can be that you make, enough. And that's about it, right? The rest of it, it's energetic, it's manifestation, it's divinely guided. We've got the Magician with the Star, which is manifestation central. Temperance with the Hierophant, which is connected to your spiritual journey. Are you in abundance mindset or are you in lack mindset? It's kind of giving that. That is kind of the connection here. It seems that your career path is connected with your life path. And it seems that your financial situation is connected to your spiritual abundance, your spiritual journey. Okay, so they seem adjacent, but not connected like they normally would be, right? You work 8 hours, you get paid 8 hours, right? It's giving a little disconnected here in this sense, which is good. So this also points to that you might have time freedom, like your time and your finances are not connected, which can be a good thing. It can also be a difficult thing. So it depends on how you navigate the situation. And the way that you learn to navigate that situation can later be applied down the line when you're navigating something new. You say, oh, remember that tool that I learned? Oh, this can be applied up here. So it's kind of giving this, it's like a spiral energy like this. Okay, so you learn the Magician, you set up Temperance, Two of Swords, Two of Wands, the Eight of Swords, and then the Magician, it gets carried to the front. So now your focus is on the Nine of Cups and the Magician. And through that, you learn the Temperance, the Two of Swords, Two of Wands, Eight of Swords, the Nine of Cups, and then the Temperance gets moved to the front. So it's kind of giving this, okay? So look out for patterns specifically with your career path. I would keep a dream journal. I would keep a personal journal. I would keep journal of the signs and the signs that you're seeing and the dates that you're seeing them, because you'll notice that there is a huge pattern here. But it's not going to be something like maybe over a year. It's going to be something like maybe over the course of 5 years, maybe over the course of 3 years. Okay, something like this. Over the course of not necessarily transits or vibes, but you'll notice that there's a pattern, but it's the kind of thing where you're going to want to have to write it down before you see it and you can use it. It's like if you've ever kept a dream journal, you will know that it helps you to understand what's going on in your subconscious mind now, right? But when you look back and you read them, when you think it's going to be irrelevant, it always gives you a little too much information of exactly what you need to know at exactly the moment that you just randomly chose to open it and read through it. It's giving this. And this is going to be how your career path pans out. So you being aware of this and choosing to continue to choose yourself and your happiness and your fulfillment is going to literally take you places, figuratively and literally. And you're also going to notice that there are a lot of changes that occur in your career path in general. And it's the way that you interpret these, the way that you translate these in your own mind, in your own narrative, and the way that you deal with these things. That in some way is going to become tangible. And what you create with that, the way that you devote yourself to creating things through that, it's going to help others, it's going to help yourself, it's going to become abundant, and it's going to be fulfilling for you. I'm also hearing that phrase, your vibe attracts your tribe, which I don't really personally say that much, so it can be something like this for your career as well. So group number 3, this is a message for you about your career path. If you would like to meditate with me, it's going to be the first link in the description box below here. It's 21 days of guided meditations. You have access to them forever. So I did create it as a journey. So regardless of where you are in your spiritual journey, we can meditate together and it will level you up spiritually, mentally, emotionally, and physically. with that being said, you have access to it, like I said, forever, so you can skip around and use the meditations that you like when you feel like it resonates with your path. Also, it's a great way to get your dailies in, like, your morning meditation, your nighttime meditation, if that's something that you like to do or want to get on top of doing. It's easy to just have a 15-minute, 30-minute guided meditation, pop in your earbuds, sit in the morning, listen to it. It just kind of takes out some of the legwork for you, makes it more accessible to you, so that's the whole point. So we've got this for you, and if you want a one-on-one with me, I do want to mention that they are 50% off right now. This is a general reading, so if you do want a hyper-personalized reading that is only for you and your specific situation, then you can find that in the description box below. They are half off right now, like I said, so you have access to that as well. So if you want more content, you can find me here on YouTube. I have a members channel. It's called My Inner Circle, and I have one on Patreon as well. I even have one on TikTok too, so if you're not following along over there, most of you are, but go say hi to me over there. Let me know you come from YouTube. It means the world to me. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe over here and all of the platforms, because you know me, I'd be posting random stuff, random places. Also, I love you, and I'm grateful for you. Feel free to check out another pile or another reading, and I will see you next time. Namaste.